Again, I'll talk about it a little bit more, but maybe even have like a large, beautiful commercial kitchen built right into the development where we can actually can and preserve our own stuff and things like that, so that we can support local food as much as possible, even though we're in an urban center. You know, very proud to show this picture of Bridgewater Town Hall with its new solar panels on it, which was a project that I worked on this past year. And the point that I'm making here is that sustainable technology, like these are hot water panels, and they actually heat the building. And technology like that, which is one of the most sustainable ones that we can install right now, are still very expensive. And how great would it be if we could work with a group of people to actually install those green living things? It's alright. If we work together with other people to make this happen, then that will be much easier than all of us installing our own solar panels on our own houses, for example. So. And last but not least, this is a picture from Bridgewater's Growing Green Festival. So Bridgewater is increasingly becoming a place where people are thinking about sustainability and community and so on, and we're really excited to be part of that. And we have a vision for this housing project to also be a bit of a trailblazer in terms of creating something new and inspiring a bit of a new culture of you know, holding those values and yeah. Co-housing, yay! So as we said, we've been mulling this over for a number of years, but we really feel that co-housing fits that idea that we've been having and those trends that we've been talking about. It's the closest thing that we've been able to find that meets that. So that's why we're really excited about it. So we've been doing a lot of... So there's some great books here, which I'll encourage everyone to have a look at in a little bit. But the one that we've been studying the most is this excellent book called Creating Co-housing. It's published by New Society Publishers, and the writers are Catherine McCammon and Charles Durrett. And they actually brought co-housing to North America from Europe about 20, 30 years ago. And they've been working as co-housing consultants and helping get lots of co-housing developments started in the United States and Canada. And they have a really excellent book here with lots of examples. So we've been learning about it. They also wrote a book on senior co-housing, which is cool because it's one of the fastest growing areas of co-housing for seniors. And co-housing is a little bit different from co-op housing and, you know, some other definitions that are out there. We just wanted to make it really clear what it is exactly. So co-housing, they define it like this, and we really like this definition. So first of all, there are complete private units, okay? So you would have your own bedroom, bathroom, living room, kitchen, and so on, but that would be combined with extensive common facilities. So shared kitchen, laundry, you know, all kinds of features that you'd want to live in have in a little community. And the cool thing is that because you've got high quality common facilities, everyone's private units can be a little smaller. They can be a bit more modest. They can be, you know, they can be part of that larger whole. So that's the basic concept, is that it's shared but also private. And the other part of it is how it all works together. So there's a deliberate community-oriented design, which means that it's the whole place is designed for the people that are going to live there and that are part of that community. Everything is participatory, so there's a democratic process of building it and coming up with it together. It's managed completely by the residents that live there. As I said, there's a non-hierarchical or a democratic structure that maintains it. And this one is also kind of important because there's a lot of ideas around you know, everyone pooling their money together and living almost more in like a commune or something like that. So a co-housing concept maintains separate income sources. So whatever, every family kind of invests in its own unit and in the co-housing together, but it's not like income sharing and stuff like that. It's separate sources. So that's what it is. just kind of as a basic definition. And now I'm going to show you some photos of different co-housing units that exist in different places. So this is Southside Park Co-housing in California. There are 25 units. And this is an example of a more spread out kind of co-housing development. So they almost look like little townhouses. That's a very popular design for co-housing. They are denser than just single family homes, but they have things like this courtyard and so on as shared space. And then usually there's a common house or two common houses where there's all the shared amenities in those. This is Dumawish Co-housing in Seattle, Washington. Again, very similar kind of design. This one has a more organic or a bit more in nature kind of feel to it. Again, on that similar kind of play on the way that they look, this is Hearthstone Co-housing in Denver, Colorado. This one has 33 units, and it's a row house style. So they're all built like that. Again, one of the things that I think is coolest about co-housing is that you don't see a single car in any of these pictures because they don't have garages right in front of them. So the cars are all parked elsewhere or in a common garage or something like that, so that the focus really is on people and getting people around and porches and stuff like that. So there's some really nice design there. Moving into something that's a little bit more apartment style or a little bit more urban in feel. This is Silver Sage Seniors Co-housing in Boulder, Colorado. This one has over 30 units. And it's right in the middle of a town, just like we would imagine something in Bridgewater. And it's a beautiful co-housing, and this one specializes in seniors and shared living for seniors and so on. So, and it just got started. So, again, a slightly more urban kind of feel to it, or a slightly more apartment feel. This is somewhere on my note sheet. This is Tacoma Co-housing in Maryland, 43 units. Again, just a different style. As the only Canadian example that I have here, although there are a number of co-housings around Canada, this is Quayside Village Co-housing in Vancouver. It has 19 units. It also is a more urban kind of design to it, so it's got 3 stories. And one of the things I found interesting is that it actually has a corner store built into the base of it, so you can actually do some very local shopping right in your own building. And so that's an example of mixed-use development, which is really exciting from an urban perspective. So yeah, this is not an actual co-housing development, but it's just a diagram that shows what some of the main features are. So as I said, there's the units. In these of this size, there'd probably be 2 or even 3 families in one unit that would all have their individual spaces. Then there would be something like a common house or 1 or 2 common spaces where you'd have the kitchens, the facilities, the amenities, there's the large courtyards, the shared spaces and so on, solar panels on the roofs. Like, this is a very, this really shows a lot of the elements that are very common in co-housing. And this is one that shows a lot of the elements that would be common in a more apartment style co-housing. Again, you've got that density. These would all be almost like condo-like units here, and then there would be a common section where you'd have all of those same features that I talked about, and then of course the solar panels on the roof and stuff like that. And here is there's so many floor plans out there, it's amazing. Like, all these developments put all their plans on the internet, and so it's really fascinating to look at how they've actually oriented themselves. But here is a apartment-style co-housing that actually has a courtyard in the center, which is kind of beautiful, and some trees, and then it's kind of built around that. So lots of different designs. We don't have any particular design in mind. Like, that's something that we want to come up with together with the community that we built this with, or that hopefully we can build this with. So all of these things are still totally cool and interesting to us at this point. I want to speak for a moment about some of the shared facilities. So the heart of the co-housing development is usually the dining hall and kitchen. That's what brings everyone together, and that's where co-housing groups often put most of their energy in terms of creating quality space together. So there's beautiful, beautiful dining halls in these places. The dining halls are multi-purpose, so people can do other things there, hold events there, residents can book it for various reasons and so on. But the main purpose is to eat. If you don't mind going to the next slide. So eating is a big part of building community in a co-housing, and different different developments or different communities have different ways that they do meals. The most common one that we've been reading about is that there's one family cooks a meal, say once every day. There's a different family that prepares a meal, or a household, or whatever the ways that the units break down. And then all the other residents are welcome to join them or not for dinner. And if they join them for dinner, they pay a modest fee, like $3 per person or something like that. So very affordable in terms of everyone having good quality food. And the most amazing thing that we've been reading about is that because there's like almost this catered meal that happens every day, people have so much more time because they don't have to do dishes and they don't have to cook, and they have all of this time to socialize and do projects or spend time with each other and stuff like that. And then you only also have to cook once or twice a month, and then everyone has something. So that's called like a rota, or a rotating meal system. It seems to be very popular, and again, you don't have to join in with the meals. You can if you want. But it's just a really, it seems to me like a really ideal way to eat and also to build community. As I said, there's usually extensive shared facilities. So, for example, here is a large meeting room, that nobody could have in their own house, and it's right there in your own space, and is maintained by the community, and people can use it for different things. I just want to say one more thing about this, which is that this also shows a wonderful picture of all of these residents in a place that are, different ages and stages, and they're living together and they're doing something together, right? Like this is that vision of people building this culture of sharing and doing things together, and I think that it's a really neat example of how this community is coming together to do something.